A. Here is some basic vocabulary for different kinds of travel.
Transport. Road. Kinds of vehicle. Car. Bus. Coach. Tram. Van. Lorry. Parts of vehicle. Boot. Steering wheel. People working with it. Driver. Motorist. Mechanic. Chauffeur. Associated words. Petrol station. Breakdown. Breakdown service. Rail. High-speed train. Express. Sleeping car. Buffet. Coach. Ticket collector. Conductor. Platform. Seat reservation. Sea. Liner. Ferry. Yacht. Deck. Bridge. Gangway. Captain. Steward or stewardess. Port. Cabin. Cruise. Air. Aircraft. Jumbo jet. Helicopter. Cockpit. Wings. Aisle. Ground staff. Cabin crew. Air traffic controller. Duty-free shop. Terminal. Runway. Security.
B. Journey. Trip. Travel. Voyage. A trip is usually shorter than a journey.
We had a long journey by coach from the north to the south of the country.
We usually say business trip, not business journey.
We took a trip to the beach last weekend. We went on a trip to the beach last weekend.
Go on a trip suggests an organised short excursion, whereas take a trip or have a trip could be something you do yourselves in your own car. Travel is a general word. It is an uncountable noun and a verb.
Travel broadens the mind.
How did you travel round Australia?
We hitchhiked.
Voyage means a long journey, usually by sea. Though this use is quite formal. It is often used in other contexts with discovery.
Learning English is a voyage of discovery.
C. Collocations and expressions connected with travel.
My flight from New York to Tokyo was severely delayed because of bad weather. Then later it was cancelled and I was stuck at the airport. The airline put me up in a hotel overnight and they put me on standby for the early morning flight the next day. Luckily, I managed to get a seat and the flight left on time at 7 a.m. There was quite a lot of turbulence during the flight, which was scary at times. When we finally got to Tokyo, the weather was bad and we had a bumpy landing. Luckily, I don't get airsick, but I had terrible jet lag for days afterwards.
I'd always wanted to sail across the Mediterranean, though I was worried I might get seasick. Anyway, I volunteered to work as a crew member on board a yacht, and it was an amazing experience. Everything ran very smoothly, even when the sea was rough, and I never suffered from seasickness.
A. Places to stay and types of holiday.
Campsite. A place where you can pitch a tent or park a caravan. Self-catering flat or apartment. A flat which you rent. You cook for yourself. Guest house. Accommodation like a hotel, but cheaper and with fewer services. Youth hostel. Cheap accommodation, mainly for young people, with perhaps 10 or more people sleeping in bunk beds in one room. Package holiday. A holiday in which you pay for travel, accommodation and food, even occasionally excursions, in advance. Cruise. A holiday spent touring or cruising on a boat, stopping off to go sightseeing at different ports. An adventure holiday. A holiday involving unusual, exciting and possibly dangerous activities, suitable for adventurous people.
B. Holiday messages.
Dear Zara, having a wonderful holiday. It's so nice to get away. We're staying at an amazing campsite up in the mountains. It's very remote and we had to drive up an unbelievably winding road to get here. But once we made it, the views over the surrounding countryside made the terrifying drive worthwhile. I'm sending a photo of our camping spot. Love, Sammy.
Dear Nico, this is turning out to be probably the most memorable holiday I've ever had. The town is absolutely fascinating, with lots of very impressive buildings. Our hotel is delightful, if a little inconvenient from the transport point of view. And the food in this area is exceptional. These are some of the old buildings in the town. Wish you were here too. Francesca.
C. Holiday brochures. These are often written in quite exaggerated language. Here are some typical adjectives with nouns that they collocate with.
Breathtaking views. Breathtaking scenery. Breathtaking pistes. Ski slopes.
Exclusive access. Exclusive club. Exclusive shops.
Exhilarating feeling. Exhilarating ride. Exhilarating walk.
Exotic beauty. Exotic charm. Exotic location.
Glamorous surroundings. Glamorous film star. Glamorous hotel.
Luxurious cruise ship. Luxurious accommodation. Luxurious lifestyle.
Picturesque streets. Picturesque villages. Picturesque cottage.
Unspoilt charm. Unspoilt village. Unspoilt woodland.
Unique opportunity. Unique charm. Unique facilities.
A. New sciences. You are probably familiar with the traditional branches of science. For example, chemistry, physics, botany, and zoology. But what about these more recently established fields? Field, definition, or applications. Field, genetic engineering. Definition or applications. Works with genetic material, DNA, of living things to alter features. GM foods, genetically modified foods, are grown in some parts of the world. Ergonomics. Studies the design of physical working spaces and how people interact with them. Molecular biology. The study of the structure and function of the molecules associated with living things. Voice technology. Technology which enables machines to interpret speech. For example, voice-to-text software. Stem cell research. The study of the use of human cells to treat diseases and injury, and to repair the body. Cloning. The creation of exact copies of plants or animals with the same genes as the original plants or animals. Hydroponics. The science of growing plants without using soil. B. Everyday technology.
Smartphone, tablet, 3D TV, high-definition HD camcorder, sat-nav, GPS, digital photo frame.
C. Verbs used in science and technology. Note the collocations in bold.
He experimented with different materials before utilizing the most suitable one.
The technician pressed a button and lights started flashing.
When she pulled the large lever, the wheel began to rotate.
The zoologist dissected the animal and extracted its organs.
When they were combined, the two chemicals reacted violently with each other.
After analysing the problem, she concluded that there was a flaw in the theory.
Insert the disc into the DVD drive to install the software, or visit the website to download it. A. Hardware, computer equipment or machinery.
Personal computer, or PC, or desktop computer. A computer that fits on a desk, used by individuals at work or at home.
Laptop, computer. A lightweight portable computer that usually fits in a briefcase.
Tablet. A portable personal computer operated by a touchscreen.
Hard disk, a device inside a computer that stores large amounts of information.
Disk drive. A device that allows information to be read from a disk.
Scanner. Device for transferring pictures and texts into a computer.
Memory stick. A small device that lets you carry computer data anywhere conveniently. You can then plug the stick into any machine.
RAM, random access memory, or memory. The memory available on a computer to store and use information temporarily. Can be measured in gigabytes.
Microchip. Chip. A very small piece of semiconductor, especially in a computer, that contains extremely small electronic circuits and devices, and can perform particular operations.
Network. When a number of computers, for example in one office, are connected together or networked so that they can share information.
B. Software. Computer programs that you install.
An application is a piece of software designed for a specific purpose. This is often shortened to app. You can get mobile phone apps for all sorts of things these days.
Word processing. Writing and storing printed text on a computer.
Spreadsheet. Program. A program, or the grid you create with it, to perform mathematical operations.
Database. A large amount of information stored in a computer system in such a way that it can be easily looked at or changed.
Computer, graphics, pictures, images, and symbols that you can form on a computer.
Virus. Hidden instructions in a program designed to destroy information.
Display. What you see on the screen of an electronic device.
A computer shows a range of icons on its display. You put the cursor on the one you want to use and click on it to open it. C. Some computing verbs.
You probably store a lot of important information on your computer, so it's sensible to back up all your files on a regular basis. Then it'll be less of a problem if you delete something accidentally or if your computer crashes. A particularly useful feature of most applications is the one that allows you to undo what you have just done. Just click on Undo, and it's quick and easy to correct anything that you have keyed in by mistake. After a few years, you may want to upgrade your computer, as they are always developing machines which are faster and more powerful. If you don't do this, you may not be able to run all the software you need. You can usually just download upgrades to your computer's operating system or to your applications from company websites.
A. The Internet.
The Internet, or the net, is a network connecting millions of computer users worldwide. The World Wide Web, or the web, is a huge portion of the Internet, containing linked documents called pages. If you have a broadband connection, then your access to the Internet should be fast. Many cafes and other public places now offer people a Wi-Fi connection to the Internet. This means that you can access the Internet through a wireless network, that is, without needing a cable of any kind. When you browse, you look for information on the Internet. The software that helps you do this can be called a browser, for example, Internet Explorer or Firefox. You use a search engine to help you locate what you want. Google is one of the best-known search engines, and people now talk about Googling someone or something. You can easily spend a lot of time surfing the net or the web. A website is a document on the web giving information about a particular subject, person, or institution. The introductory page is called the home page. From this, there are links to other pages. Good websites are easy to navigate or find your way around. One option on many websites is an FAQ page. This stands for Frequently Asked Questions, a list of common questions and helpful answers. You can bookmark websites that you log on to frequently. If a website gets a lot of hits, that means that it has been visited by a lot of people. Sometimes you need to subscribe to a site, which means you become a member of it. This may involve having a special username and choosing a password. You will only be able to log in to the site if you enter this information correctly. You can store your data on your computer or phone, or you can store it in the cloud.
B. Online communication.
You can communicate with others by email. With an email, you can include an attachment. You can attach a photo, for example. You can also send someone an e-card. A server is a powerful central computer from which other computers get information. If your ISP, or Internet Service Provider's server is down, you may not be able to send emails. You can use your computer to Skype friends and family. The software allows you to make phone calls using your computer and the Internet, and you can see which people on your contact list are online at the same time. If you each have a webcam, you can see each other as you talk. Many modern online programs can be called interactive. That is, they allow users to become involved in the exchange of information. For example, social networking sites like Facebook are a popular way for people to keep in touch with their friends. A wiki is a website which allows users to add, delete, and edit its contents. Wikipedia is perhaps the world's largest wiki. Blogs are also interactive, as they are a kind of online diary that readers can add comments to. Many people are involved in online gaming, playing with people who they have never met. Often these games make use of virtual reality.
A. Social media verbs.
My friend posted a video of her baby, and it was shared over 1,000 times.
I probably update my status about twice a week. I like telling people what I'm doing.
Send me a friend request, and then you can see the pictures I took.
Over 100,000 people subscribe to his video channel and follow him on Twitter.
B. A social media app.
Here's our roundup of the latest apps. This month we loved Catnap, a new social media app that allows users to share information about their favourite pets.
We found it very easy to use. You create a profile of your cat, upload a favourite photo, and include some basic information about it: age, colour, favourite food. You can then post updates about what your cat has been doing, share links to things you find interesting, or comment on other cats' profiles. You can rate videos of other cats' adventures from 1 to 5 stars, or see how many views or likes your post got. The most popular post each month wins a prize. We found it a little annoying that you can't turn off notifications when a friend writes something new, but overall cat lovers will adore it. Highly recommended.
C. Online privacy. On social media, it's important to think about who can see your personal information.
If you have to give personal information, for example, date of birth, address, when you create an account, make sure that it's kept private. It's better not to give this information if you don't have to.
Always check your privacy settings regularly and make sure you understand who can see what you post. For example, often your profile picture is public, but you can usually make posts on your timeline private.
Remember that if you are tagged in someone else's post, it might be seen by a lot of people you don't know. You can ask people to remove the tag if necessary.
Use direct messages for private conversations, especially if you discuss where you live, paying for things, etc.
Delete old accounts on sites that you are not using anymore. You might forget what information they contain, or the default privacy settings might change.
A. Radio and television. Read these extracts from TV listings.
4 o'clock. Jessica. Talk show with Jessica Brown. Today's guest, Rona Friedale. 5 o'clock. Cartoons. Crazy fun for kids of all ages. 5:30. Golden Chance. Game show with Bob Langley. 6 o'clock. News and weather forecast. 6:30. Didbury Street, the nation's favourite soap. 7 o'clock. Documentary. Are we killing our kids?
investigating the junk food industry. 8 o'clock, The Happy Couple, sitcom about a pair of newlyweds. 9 o'clock, Roundup, sports programme with all the day's top action. Tonight, rugby final. 10 o'clock, The Day in Politics, current affairs programme, presenter James Hill. 10:30, Wickdal, detective drama set in Norway, episode 3, A Second Body is Found.
B. Other expressions connected with TV and radio.
The media, or mass media, refers to TV, radio, newspapers, and the Internet. That is, means of communication which reach very large numbers of people. Subtitles enable people to read what the characters are saying, maybe in translation. If a film is dubbed, you hear the speech in your own language. To receive a lot of TV channels, you may need a satellite dish on the roof or wall of your house. Many channels depend on TV commercials to make money. You may be able to stream radio and TV broadcasts from the Internet, and you may be able to watch catch-up TV or TV on demand, which allow you to watch programs whenever you like. A lot of radio and TV stations offer free podcasts, which you can download.
C. Newspapers.
A popular or tabloid newspaper usually focuses on sensation rather than real news, whereas a quality newspaper is usually more interested in serious news. A tabloid often has stories about celebrities, sport, scandals, and crime, while a quality paper focuses more on serious journalism, with in-depth articles. To read newspapers on the Internet, you may have to subscribe or pay a subscription.
D. Verbs connected with the media.
The BBC World Service broadcasts throughout the world.
They're televising the opening of Parliament tomorrow. Or, less formal, they're showing the opening of Parliament tomorrow.
The film was shot on location in Australia. The film was made on location in Australia.
The series is set in London in the 1980s.
Within minutes of the event, people were tweeting about it.
A. Types of government.
Republic, a state governed by representatives and, usually, a president. For example, the USA, France.
Monarchy, a state ruled by a king or queen. For example, the UK, Sweden.
Federation, a union of political units. For example, provinces, under a central government. For example, the USA.
Democracy, government of, by and for the people.
Dictatorship, system of government run by a dictator.
Independence, freedom from outside control. Self-governing.
B. Presidential and parliamentary government, US and UK.
United States presidential government. The powers of the President and the legislature, Congress, are separate. These branches of government are elected separately. The President is elected for a 4-year term and can appoint or nominate high officials in government, including cabinet members, who advise, and federal judges. The President leads a major party, usually but not always the majority party in Congress. Congress consists of two houses, the House of Representatives and the Senate.
United Kingdom Parliamentary Government. The government consists of a legislature, Parliament, and a cabinet of ministers from the majority party in Parliament. If no party has an overall majority, there may be a coalition government formed from more than one party. The Prime Minister is the head of the government and the leader of the majority party in the House of Commons. The Prime Minister selects high officials and heads the cabinet. Parliament consists of two chambers, the House of Commons and the House of Lords. MPs are members of Parliament elected from each constituency to the House of Commons.
C. Parliamentary elections.
During a general election, each constituency has to choose which politician it wants as its representative. Usually, there are several candidates to choose from. These candidates are all standing, or running, for Parliament. They present the policies, that is, their party's plans. On polling day, every adult goes to the polling station and casts a vote by marking a cross on their ballot paper. The candidate who gets the majority of votes wins the seat. If the vote is very close, the constituency may be referred to as a marginal seat.
A. Crimes and criminals.
Crime. Murder. Definition: killing someone. Criminal: murderer. Verb: murder. Shoplifting. Stealing something from a shop. Shoplifter. Shoplift. Burglary. Stealing something from someone's home. Burglar. Burgle. Smuggling. Taking something illegally into another country. Smuggler. Smuggle. Kidnapping. Taking a person hostage in exchange for money or other favours, etc. Kidnapper. Kidnap. Terrorism. Violent action for political purposes. Terrorist. Terrorize. Fraud. Deceiving people in order to take money from them. Fraudster. Defraud. Abduction. Taking someone, especially a child, usually in order to harm them. Abductor. Abduct.
All the verbs in the table above are regular. Note that the verb terrorize is mainly used in a general way, meaning to make others very frightened, rather than just relating to the crime.
B. Investigating crime.
Ross committed a crime when he robbed a bank. Someone witnessed the crime and told the police. The police arrested Ross and charged him with bank robbery. They also accused his twin brother, Ben, of being his accomplice. The police investigated the case and collected evidence at the crime scene. They found Ross's fingerprints, and they also found DNA evidence that linked him to the crime, so they were confident they had proof that the two men were guilty.
C. Trial and punishment.
The case came to court, and Ross and Ben were tried. The trial did not last very long. Ross and Ben both pleaded not guilty in court. Their lawyer did her best to defend them, but the prosecuting lawyer produced a very strong case against them. After brief deliberations, the jury passed verdict on them. They decided that Ross was guilty, and he was convicted of robbery, but Ben was innocent. The judge acquitted Ben of any involvement in the robbery, but sentenced Ross to 3 years in prison or jail. As well as a prison sentence, Ross also had to pay a large fine. Ross served 2 years in prison, but was released from prison a year early. He got time off for good behaviour.
D. People connected with crime and the legal process.
Offender. Someone who commits an illegal act, an offence.
Judge. The person who leads a trial and decides on the sentence, that is, the punishment when someone is found guilty.
Jury. Group of citizens, 12 in the UK and usually the US, who decide on the verdict, that is, whether the accused is guilty or not.
Victim. A person who suffers as the result of a crime.
Suspect. A person who is suspected of committing an offence.
Witness. A person who sees a crime being committed.
A. Personal finance. Read these advertisements about personal finance.
New bank. Your bank. Need a good current account with the best interest rates and a guaranteed overdraft facility? Pop into one of our branches.
Short of cash? Need a loan? Need to raise money for that round-the-world trip? For a loan with competitive interest rates, visit our website at www.cashforyou.com.
Too many credit cards? Consolidate all your cards and debts into one convenient payment. Discuss your credit limit with us today. Call 677-42319.
Looking for a mortgage? Act now. For mortgages with low deposits and flexible repayments, call 056 987 623.
B. Bank accounts and services.
I have a steady income now, which is great, and my outgoings are quite low. I don't have any major expenses.
I pay all my bills by direct debit, so I don't have to worry about them. It also means I have a good credit rating, so I can borrow money if I need to.
I need to buy a car, but I'm not sure how I'm going to finance it.
I've just opened a savings account and I transfer money into it regularly.
My account is usually in credit at the beginning of the month, but by the end of the month it's always overdrawn. I hate being in the red, and the banks all charge interest on overdrafts. I try not to go over my overdraft limit, though.
I use online banking most of the time. I only go to the bank occasionally to use the cash machine.
C. Public finance.
The government collects money through taxes. Income tax is the tax collected on wages and salaries. Inheritance tax is collected on money people get from people who have died. Customs, or excise duty, is paid on goods imported from other countries. Airports usually have duty-free shops. VAT, value-added tax, is a tax paid on most goods and services. Companies pay corporation tax on their profits.